What is up, YouTube? About to drizzle on you my first Wi-Fi value using an R4. It's against a guy named GTxAce. I met him on Cerebi. I talked to him a little bit. He's a pretty cool dude. And I asked for an RU match without me realizing I asked for an RU match. So I had a team filled with UUs, and I was about to battle this guy, and he was like, I don't really care, but it's a little unfair. So I was like, okay, fine. So I had to build a random RU team, just out of my ass. So I leave with my Uxie, he leaves with Gallade, and I knew he was going to predict the Stealth Rock, so I just go to U-turn for the U-turn, and go into my Durant, get a Hone Claws up, because Jatsu can't do anything to me. So I get a Hone Claws up, and yeah, he sets up a Reflect, and I was like, oh, maybe dual screener maybe, so I just go for the Rock Slide, thinking maybe next turn he might go for the Light Screen, and no, that's not what he does. He goes for a Nightshade, and I was like, okay. So because of that Reflect, I wasn't able to kill him with the first Rock Slide, and here he decides to switch out, and I went for an X-Scissor, just in case he did switch out. I would hit something with a stab move, but even if he stayed in, he would have died, so I get a crit. That is a pointless crit, just because Gallade has... Pretty sure Gallade has shit defense, so that's pretty nice special defense. Whatever. And here comes Chun-Li, and I was like, oh, Chun-Li, fuck you. But it's a Scarf Chun-Li, Medi-Chan, bastard. So he kills off my Durant. I go back into my Uxie, and I'm like... here I'm thinking, you know what, he's gonna predict Stealth Rocks again. So I go for another U-turn, and that's over prediction on my part. And to be honest, this Medi-Chan right here is easily the biggest threat to my team. Just because when I was making this team, I didn't think for one second, you know what, maybe I need a Scarfer, because this Medi-Chan Scarf, and I have nothing on my team that could outspeed it. So I go back into my Uxie, and just because he's the only one that could take a high jump kick from a Medi-Chan. Not a lot of things can take it, but Uxie does a pretty nice job. So this turn I'm like, you know what, screw it, even if you go into your Zatu, I'm going to go for the Yawn. I'm sorry. I went for the Yawn because this thing was a huge threat, and I needed to get a status on it, or put it to sleep, or just do something. So I go for the Yawn, and here I'm deciding, you know what, I'm going to go with the Rocks. The only person relatively weak to it on my team is Entei. So I just go for the Stealth Rocks, even if he bounced back, I wouldn't have cared that much. So I get my Rocks up, mid-game Rocks for the win. So yeah, and then I'm like, okay, Uxie, you can stay in there, do your thing. And he goes for a Facade. I'm like, maybe I could live a Facade. I was able to live a high jump kick, and no. And I do live a Facade. Wow, I don't remember living that, but I live it. I go for the U-turn just so I could use that as setup fodder, switch and fodder later. Go into my Entei, and Entei's pretty nice HP and pretty decent defense stats. I'm like, I could live a one Facade and kill this thing off. And it's banded, so I make a pretty bad play here. I go for the Flare Blitz. Probably should have gone for that extreme speed, just so I could have hit it once and then hit it twice, and probably would have 2-hit KO'd it. And whatever, if he switched into Medi-Chan, I could have got some damage on that too. But whatever. So my Entei is gone. So I go into my Lilligant just because I go into my Lilligant and just blindly switching it. And he goes to Chun-Li, and I'm like, fuck you, Chun-Li. Fuck you. So I go back into my Uxie, just switching fodder. And honestly, I have nothing to switch in. I can sit here and tell you I use it for switching fodder, but I have nothing at this point. So there goes my Uxie. At this point, it's looking bad for me. I go into my Gorbis, which is just a Shell Smash. It's just like any Pokemon with Shell Smash has, is just a Shell Smash. So I go to Shell Smash because I'm pretty confident I can live anything this thing hits me with. And Absols, I know for experience, they set up a Swords Dance and then they Sucker Punch away. So I'm like, okay, Next turn, he's probably gonna go for a sucker punch or a swords dance. So I'm just gonna baton pass here. Go back into my Logant, and he goes for the swords dance, which probably was a pretty good play on his part. Maybe he realized he couldn't have taken out my Gorbis on one shot. So now he goes for a sucker punch, but it failed. I knew he was going to go for a sucker punch, so I put his ass to sleep. And at this point, it just turns into a little Gant sweep. Sorry if I spoiled, but I'm using this mainly as a quality test for my R4. It kind of seems a little buggy to me, like a little laggy. So anyone know how to improve that? I record on Desmume and transfer onto Camtasia, and yeah, I record like that. But every other video worked fine, and with recently, for some reason, it's been really laggy. Like, I don't know if you guys see it. Like, I'm looking at it right now. It's pretty laggy. So just leave a feedback down below. More battles to come, guys. Like, really, this is first of many. Oh, and I also promised GT I would do it. He has a Pokemon online server called the Pokeverse, and I play on it sometimes because there's pretty cool guys. You know, you could basically do whatever you want. It's just an open server. It's fun, and it's open weekdays, weekends. He has camp or something. He can't unable to do it. So you guys comment, rate, subscribe. Yeah, just enjoy the rest of the video. Peace.